Okay, this is problem number 30 from Test 3 Review. A salesman earns a straight commission of 20%. 1 week he had sales of $2,250. Find his gross pay for the week. Alright, this is a lot like the sales problems, sales tax problems. So what they're actually looking for is his gross pay for the week. So that's this here. And gross pay is equal to the amount of sales plus the amount of commission. So that's what we need to sort out using this information. So let's identify the parts of our problem, because we're going to use this equation, which is the percent proportion equation, and we can use this equation also, and I will show you how they both work. Identifying the part in this problem, the part for commission problems is, the part is a portion of the sales, and a portion of the sales is the commission amount. Not the rate, not this percentage, but the amount of the actual commission that is given to him based on his sales. Well, his sales are the whole, and this is true of all of these commission problems. The commission amount is the part, the total amount of sales is the whole, and the percent would be the commission of the percent of commission. So identifying the whole, which is the total sales, and identify percent, which of course is very obvious. It's just the rate of commission. I say obvious because it has a percent sign right on it. Okay, so we have these parts identified. We know how to find them in a problem. Are we given the commission amount? We have the rate of commission, because that's the percentage, and we have the total sales, so no. So then our rate of commission, or our commission amount, sorry, is X. Our total sales is given, and that is $2,250. And then the rate of commission, of course, is that percentage of 20%. Now you could plug these numbers into this equation and to this equation, and that will calculate our X. But remember, our X is the commission amount. It is not the gross pay, which we have to ultimately find. We are not looking, which will be amount of commission, this X, plus the total amount of sales, which we already know that. $2,250, that's given in the problem. So we have to solve for this X to plug over here. Alright, so let's begin to do that. We have the part as X, and then we have that equal to a percent, which is given as 20, and remember, we don't put the percent sign on when using this formula because we're dividing by 100, so that automatically takes care of our percent sign. Alright, so we have the whole. The whole is given as the total sales, and we put that over 100. And we solve our problem. We redraw it, of course, as solving for the X in a proportion. So it's this number, 2250 times 20, set equal to 100X. So 100 times X will equal, and when we are solving for X, we have to divide both sides by 100, meaning both sides of the equal sign on the equation so we can isolate the x, meaning we're setting up the problem so that we have one math formula equal to x. So anytime you have 100 over 100, that equals 1, so it cancels to a 1, and the 1 times x is simply x. So now x is equal to this calculation. So we can simplify the calculation a little bit. We can divide 100 by 10, take that 0 off, and divide 20 by 10. We can also divide this by 10 and that by 10 again. So now we've simplified the problem to x equals 225 times 2. So 225 times 2 equals 450. Right, so that solves for the x, which equals the commission amount. So now we have an x, and we can use that over here. In our original problem, we have 450 plus the 2,250, which will then equal our gross pay. So let's add plus 2,250, that will equal 2,700 as our gross pay. Now if we were to use this equation here, and some people like to use that, it's a little different. What you have is for the percent, you can't take percent sign off, you have to leave it on in this problem and work with it as you go. So you have the 20% times the whole, which is the total amount of sales, equal to our x, because that is part. So then you cannot multiply 20%, you have to change it to a decimal. So what we do to change that 20% to a decimal is the decimal is here, and anytime you take a percent sign off, you're dividing by 100, which means you're moving the decimal 2 places to the left. And that makes that decimal now, or that percent, 20%, become 0.20 as a decimal. And this decimal now is multiplied by the 2250. And that will equal our x. So let's look and see if we get the same answer. 0.2 times 2250 equals 450. So we do get the same x, and then we would plug it here just like we did, adding it to the total amount of sales to get the gross pay of $2,700.